Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Children of Morta. In the last video, we wrapped up all the side questing, I believed, and now we are ready to go ahead and venture into the Temple of if I recall correctly. Right, we also discovered that, I believe, no, that was some time ago, that was basically jealous of his own son, given to him by his wife. Or at least the goddess, Rhea, who he loved, supposedly. I had to everyone that it's been a month since I last played the game. Today is May 24th, 2020. Last time I played was April 17th. I may be a little rusty again. Hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. And, before we get going, let's remember what I've taken so far for upgrades. Here's everything in my Book of Rhea. And here's everything over in our workshop. Okay. Also before we get going, I should mention that there was a sizable balance patch which was applied to the game about a week ago. They've added some more nuances to New Game Plus, as well as, I think, over 50 new encounters you can have within the locations in the game. So, we might see some things that we haven't seen before. Well, we're going to see some things we haven't seen before as we step into the last location. I think what's the last location. I'm babbling now, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright everyone, it is time for us to get going to Ohms. Let's go ahead and start. Oh's Temple. This is the only spot it looks like. Who is going in? We are all level 18. I guess we'll start with John, since he started our entire adventure. Maybe he can be good enough to end it. Assuming this is the last mission, which I am not sure about. Let's get started. Immediately, this feels like a spaceship that I'm in. We do know that the mountain is indeed a spaceship that had traveled on. Every 25 combo kills grants you a gemstone. The damage of your primary attacks increases with the number of gemstones you possess. Flames orbit you, damaging enemies. Is this going to be an immediate boss battle, I wonder? I wasn't expecting that. Bear with me, everyone. I have to try to remember this. Okay.
Upon the throne, the mountain god himself, without Rhea Dane's love, darkness had swollen inside him, consuming and uncontainable.
Sorry, I'm not talking, everyone. This is going to be extremely difficult, I think. Learn his patterns, Tim. And try not to get hit while you're at it.
And without Rheadena's love, jealousy would swallow her children.
I don't know what that does, but I don't want to be in it. The good news is we can use these ads to heal ourselves a tiny bit. I want to wait till those dodge him. I want to heal this. Oop, ran right into that, Tim. All those gemstone things we have aren't really going to help us very much, I think. I definitely would like to kill this. Oops, took a hit. Oh, Tim, you're almost dead. You're almost dead. All those dodges, Tim. The only thing's keeping you alive. Well, that and all the life potions we got. Still don't have any rage, Tim. Farming those guys, hoping for... Oh! Tim! You got hit by that. Hoping for some life potions. Right after the big one. The big one being the fat leaping creature. Tim, don't get stuck in this. You also can't forget Boom. I hate the fact there's a giant bouncy blob. Ooh, we want that. Oh, Tim, careful. We're doing it a little bit better with those heals, but not any longer. We should focus on As I proceed not to do that. Let's let this fade. Oh, Tim! Oh, God!
Heavy as iron and difficult to breathe in, the air burned their lungs. It was pitch black. The light meant protection and hope. And the Bergson had to rescue the others as well. The darkness weighed heavily on the hero. He knew that these final steps were to be taken shoulder to shoulder.
Gemstone buffs. We're doing this on hard mode, our very first attempt, but we're doing well. All those health potions really helped, as in the level. The level, Tim. You leveled up. But I only have 1 point, and it's not enough to... Oh, we could put it into... No, I don't really want Shield Bash.
There it was, the protection of another light.
Let's get you up.
2 more Bergsons found, but they all were still in danger from the darkness. The rest of the family had to be saved.
I see the big one. That's gonna be really annoying. If it's just these two though, we can the big bouncy fat one will take a while to get to us. Oh, Tim. Oh, you regenerate life while you're inside of this. I didn't realize that. That's really nice. Thank you. Our rage is ready. Very good. We'll hold on to that for when I guess we get back to Ohm again. I can be a little braver since I know
light
we'll generate.
Off the darkness. Now.
Oh, Lucy, let's get you up.
Time was short. Haste was needed. The final battle was nearing its end.
Joey, up you go.
The Bergsons knew that this was the final step. Love must prevail over hatred. The Supreme One, master of all and master of nothing. His greatest fear was made absolute. He was left alone. Left alone to his misery and failure, to the unending cycle of despair and pain. He wished for its end, wished to bathe in an eternal darkness. Mercy prevailed as the wheel had turned back to kindness. that which was expelled from the heart returned. All the time apart melting away, along with all the pain, all the sadness, and all the misery. Land met sky, two became one. Love ignited rapture as innocence flooded the space between breaths. Happiness and curiosity weaved, mixed, and tangled in a dance, a millennium in coming. As the one ascended, but will never leave, a family looked upon the mountain and land over which they were given ward. A family left exhausted was now more complete than before. A god once stricken with grief was now whole. And a land once cast into chaos is now left in serene balance. As the story comes to its conclusion, remember this. When the time spent in this land is looked back upon, when daring feats are recited along with victories and defeats, remember that it was not a tale of heroes or villains, nor of good and evil, but one of family, and above all else, a tale of love. Go now, Guardian, and never forget.
I didn't expect to win the game in the next mission. Wow. Alright everyone, I'm going to let the credits roll, and then I'll be back to give my thoughts on Children of Morta. I just completed Disco Elysium, and I created a scoring system to use whenever I beat a game from now on. So I'll apply it to this game after I have some time to think about it for a bit. So, in the comment section below, there will be a link to let you jump ahead to past the credits, where you will hear me talk about the game, in case you care about that sort of thing. So, yeah, and if not, thank you guys for watching what you did. Man, I didn't think it would be over this. I thought there'd be at least like a level of monsters or what have you to fight and kill in there. I didn't realize it would be just one boss battle. Anyway, yep. So I'm going on silent, and I'll talk to you guys at the end of the credits. And if you leave earlier, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next game, whatever that will be. Aww. Look at little Hope. That is so adorable. Alright, hey everyone! Well, with the credits done, that was quite a few backers who backed the game. I forgot this was a Kickstarter. It's time to talk about Children of Morta and what I thought about it now that I've completed the game. As you might know, I do not like giving a review for a game until either I have beaten it or given up on it, such that, and by giving up, I usually try to play it for significantly longer than I have enjoyed it for if it's a game I did not like. I'll still try to give it a chance. Alright, well let's get started, shall we? So first, down below in the comments section, in addition to that link that let you skip the credits, I explain how my points work for my rating system. Hopefully this will make sense to you guys as we go forward. So let's go ahead and get a chance to enjoy the music for the Bergsons one last time as we talk about the game as a whole. So first, well, we'll go right to graphics. The first things you notice in the game will be the way it looks. And I think this game is very pretty. It reminds me of the Hyperlight Drifter type of look and or feel for the game. I forget what type of bit this is, like 16-bit? It's not 8-bit graphics, it's a little better than that, I think. But I really enjoy it. It's very colorful as well. And when you're in the highly corrupted areas, when it starts changing, I thought that was really well done also. All the enemies are very recognizable when we were fighting them in the game. And the heroes as well. I really like all the little animations that they do when they're idle as well. From balancing, as we can see Mark doing, to skipping around while they're moving like Linda does. The bouncing that Linda does. The way Joey swings his arms as he runs forward, giving me the impression that he's really hulking and big. I really liked all these little touches. Very, very nice. So I think on a scale of 0 to 3, I can give this game a 2 for its graphics. It looks very good for what it is. It's not The Witcher 3 or Dragon Age Origins, but it's not designed to be that, and I think the game is pretty much perfect the way it is. For sound effects, that would include voice acting and the sounds that we have in the game, not music. I think they did an amazing job here too. The swooshing, you hear the air parting when Joey swings his hammer around, the sound of the enemies hitting the shield when John has it deployed, the firecrackers that you hear when Linda is sending out her fire, the twang of the bow, and or the sound of the harp when Linda uses her abilities as well. It was good. I really, really liked it and noticed all these sound effects. It was enough to make me, my ears perk up and notice them. I thought the narrator was also very good as well. I have a friend of mine who was watching this entire series named Joe, and he really dislikes the narrator because he talks so much, but I like him. I thought he added the appropriate amount of care or concern, and I liked his descriptions of what was going through the various Bergsons' heads as they encountered different things throughout their adventure. So overall, this gets a 2 out of 2 for me. I think the sound effects are perfect in this game. For the music, for this one, I immediately downloaded this tune. The first moment I heard it, I love the pan pipes are a cheat way to get me to really like music. I love this sort of stuff. Anything that has chanting in it also is going to get me to really enjoy it. All the Space Marine music, instantly like it when you hear the chorus chanting for the Space Marines. Spirit Engine 2, loved a lot of the soundtrack there as well. For this one, although I really like some of the songs, I can only really think of 2 that stood out to me. This song, and during the credit roll, I really like that song. I haven't grabbed it yet, but I intend to do so. But all the other music in the game, the music we had when we were in the desert, or Terra Lava, the cave systems, or the boss battles, I don't remember them very much. It wasn't something that I was grooving to, and I can't really see myself go, well, actually I guess I could go and download them for thematic purposes. It wasn't bad, I didn't turn off the music, but I don't remember them very well. So it's not like, say, the Spirit Engine 2 where I'm humming that music, or, what was it? Deus Ex, when I'm in China, for example, and I can hum the music that I heard there. So, on a scale of 0 to 2, the music I give a 1 to. It's good music. I'll download 1 or 2 tracks, but nothing that really stood out to me that much. The story. This is pretty difficult for me. I wish I had more granularity here for the story, because I just also beat Disco Elysium, and I gave Disco Elysium, obviously, a review, or maybe not so obviously, but I did so. And so, in regards to the amount of work and lore building Disco put in, I have to consider that when I give a game like this its score. I love stories that are about a family. We don't get very many of these anymore these days. A lot of stories and tales are told about an individual. I can't think of too many that deal with a whole family working especially together. A lot of stories about family will be like a story of Fire and Ice, where people are backstabbing each other and the good guys don't win, or someone betrays someone else. I really liked seeing this family work together to fight against Ooh and the corruption and so on. It had me sniffling when the family decided not to give up hope to Ooh as well. I really liked that part. And I liked the ending as well, the final statement by our narrator, who mentioned this wasn't a story about good or evil, but a story about love. That was very touching. That said, though, I did find the boss's motivations hard to fathom, just like the Bergonsons here. If he really truly loved his wife, why did he immediately get super jealous? I guess maybe for his race, where he comes from, it must have been a new emotion and he didn't know how to handle it. That's the only thing I can think of. I also I liked all of these as well. I do kind of wish we had more... Oh, actually, I have documents now? Oh, journals? I don't have any journals. I don't understand how I can get journals. I don't have any of them. Maybe that's a New Game Plus thing. Or maybe that was something you only got as a backer. But I like reading the stories that the backers put in for the library. It helped flush out the world a little bit more. And I enjoyed reading about the grandfather as well. I wondered if we would meet him perhaps at some point, but I guess that wasn't meant to be. So, what else is there? Let me flip the page. Oh, right. The encounters we had helped as well. Like the telescope that we helped piece back together. The girl who died despite getting a new heart. The three... Oh, and there's a telescope guy out there. The 3 little machines who we helped get reunited again after we repaired them. I really like all that stuff. Nice touches. And that sometimes it wasn't a happy ending, I thought was very good as well. I was kind of nervous that the poor Bergsons were going to have at least one more person fall during the final encounter against Ooh. So, on a scale of 0 through 3, I think I'll give this a 2. It's better than a 1. A 1 I give to games like Black Paradox, a game which, or Ikaruga, games where they describe the story, but you don't see too much of it in the game. They did put a lot of effort into the story here, and I liked it very much. It doesn't get a 3 because it's not Planescape Torment or Deus Ex. So it's very few games are going to get a 3 when it comes to lore or story building. Even Prey did a fantastic job on that story. This game isn't quite up to that, but it's still good, and I enjoyed it. For the gameplay... Oh, did I really have 3 points in gameplay? I'll have to check my numbers. In any case, as a twin-stick shooter, I thought this game was very well put together. The enemies felt varied enough, and the Bergsons definitely were. They all felt different to use. I really liked them. I could totally see myself playing through this game again. In fact, I intend to start doing so right after I'm done recording this part. I'm going to play through the normal mode and then probably try a New Game Plus. I would like to see some of the new content that they added in with one of the recent patches. There's enough hours as well in the main game. I think it was about 10. Assuming that you... Well, it actually took us like what? Like maybe 14 hours total to beat the game? I can see that if you wanted to level up everyone to max, the game might get a little boring. It might outstay its welcome just a tad. But I did not feel that way when playing, even though I did grind a little. We'll get to that in a little later. In any case, I guess a penalty to the characters, though, is that although they all feel very different from each other, I can't really see building them that differently. It's not like Mark is a monk from Diablo 3, and Linda is a Amazon from Diablo 2, where in addition to being different from each other just because they're completely different with their skills, they have completely different talent trees that you can build them different ways. I don't see that really happening. So there's a little less game replayability in that regard. If you don't like just the base game, running around with Mark, for example, wielding his hammer, you're not going to be able to build him differently. Like the Necromancer in Diablo 2. You could have no skeletons and have him use curses and Bone Spear, for example, if you so wished. Maybe you could build them without skeletons but give them a golem, or maybe go full skeletons with them. I don't see anything like that here. That said, though, it's still very solid for a twin-stick shooter, and it didn't wear out its welcome. I give it a 2 out of 3 points for gameplay. For the GUI and the controls, they all felt supernatural. Everything felt really good. The leveling was easily explained. I could tell where all my abilities were. If I couldn't remember what something was, I could pop up a tooltip to see what they were. The in-game menus are easy to navigate. I don't think I missed anything. But the only thing I would have liked is a audible cue to let me know when my divine artifacts were off a cooldown. But maybe there actually was one, I just wasn't noticing it. I can't think of any way they could have improved the controls. Everything felt super responsive while I was playing as well. So it gets a 2 out of 2 here. Very, very well done. Next, grindy. It doesn't have to be, but you will probably grind a bit in order to level the family here and complete side quests. Having beaten the game once now, I can tell that I wouldn't need to do this because of the amount of experience points that you gain bringing lower level family members to higher level areas. But you're probably going to do it anyway, just because as a gamer, you're going to want to keep everyone equal level. And or the game penalizes you for bringing the same people around anyway, with the idea that they themselves get corrupted. So as such, I have to award a -1 point, because the game is a little grindy. For bugs encountered in the game, I encountered none. Not a single bug. No glitches, no crashes to desktop, no issues. I guess there was one, but it's easily circumvented, so I don't really have a problem with it. When I select the game when I first start the game, I continue from my save slots. If I use the keyboard to select the game slot, I cannot use my joystick. It's annoying. I found it annoying. I was confused the first time it happened. I thought something was wrong with my joystick. But then I realized, oh, okay, the game just disables my joystick. I wouldn't really, though, and I'm not going to subtract a point from that. It's not really I guess it is a glitch or a bug, but it wasn't one that deterred me from playing the game. It wasn't understood what the game wanted of me. It's very easy to circumvent that. So, 0 points for bugs. Well done. For balanced gameplay all the way through, although all the Bergsons have felt extremely well balanced amongst each other, the bosses and the trash you fight didn't really feel that as balanced. Some enemies were much more difficult than others, no matter which character I was using, and some of the bosses were very easy, and some of them were very difficult. I would never say that this game was face-rolling easy, although you could grind to get all the board that you would need to level yourself up, your family up more. So you could make it even easier, but it's not really necessary. To be fair, I did kind of get lucky in a few of the battles. When the trash spawned, or ads were added obviously, when I was fighting the bosses, the health potions that were dropped allowed me to win a few of those battles that I would not have won otherwise, especially the final battle against Ooh. So I'm very lucky in that regard. I am still very impressed with how different the different Bergsons felt to me, and how balanced they all were amongst each other. But again, the monsters probably could have used a little more work. I did find it to be a bit on the easy side, but there was also a hard difficulty. So if you find it too easy, you can try that instead. I know the developers of the game are constantly looking to get the balance right. Well, maybe I'm saying the wrong things there. They have been concerned about the balance a little bit and have done some tweaking to keep it exciting. So I expect them to make a few more tweaks here or there. Still, I can't judge the game on things that I haven't seen yet. So on a scale of 0 to 2, I'll give the game a 1 for balance. It's decently balanced, which was a little harder, especially on the boss side, since I was able to beat most of the bosses with one go. For my bias adding as to whether or not how much I like the game despite all the negatives, or how much I did not like the game despite the fact I recognize there being positives, my thumb on this, as you can tell by my happy voice, is I really like this game. I give it the full 2 points for my thumb on the scale, as it were. I loved it. I love the story of the family. I loved hearing about their different aspects. I liked listening to Linda play the violin for the family. I liked watching Ben go out and make the alcohol, the wine distillery for the family. I loved reading and seeing the family grow together to help each other in that way. I liked the gameplay. It felt really good. I loved the sound of Linda's firecrackers as she was throwing out fireballs. It felt good. I panicked. We came back from the edge of being destroyed a few times thanks to health potion drops and me being maybe a little better than I had been. The game itself, again, didn't wear its welcome. Just the right amount of time playing it. Really, really good. 2 points here. I love this game. Finally, for the awesome ending, 0 or 1 point. Although I was super glad to see none of the Bergsons fall in the final encounter, and I was also happy that Ooh was forgiven, and I liked the final statement by the narrator, I don't think it gets to 1 point. Didn't have the same effect on me as, say, Thief the Dark Project's ending, or Thief Deadly Shadows, or the idea that your name is immortalized forever within a painting an exhibit in the Galactic Museum for Legacy of the Ancients. It was it was a good ending. I'm glad to see how it ended, and I'm glad the Bergsons didn't lose anyone else. But I don't think I can give it 1 point for an incredibly awesome ending. So, that brings us to our final score then. A 13, so Children of Morta on a scale of 0 through 22, I guess, if I include my 2 balance points. But I prefer it just still between 0 to 20. I give it a 13. A fun twin-stick shooter that does not wear out its welcome. The Bergsons are an interesting family, and I wanted to see them stand victorious at the end over their foes. It reminded me of Halfway. I was really interested in seeing what happened to them at the end, and hoping that none of them would die. There are some slight balance issues with the game. The story could have had more twists and turns, but this beautiful game really delivered in the fun and combat department. I can recommend this game to you guys as well if you want a slightly grindy game where the character choices vary and the gameplay can be surprisingly tough. Alright everyone, that will do it. Thank you guys for watching Children of Morta, and I look forward to seeing you in the next game. Take care everyone.